Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I do want to apologize for the lack of videos. I've been having some really big problems with the YouTube platform and all that. Like, some of my videos are not showing up and all that for some odd reason. I'm not sure why. Like, they're either not showing up or they're taking forever to upload. I've been having that problem with my other phone too. So I don't know if I'll be able to upload as many as I've been wanting to, but I really want to get some of these videos done because some of these there's some big stuff I want to talk about here and some stuff that's probably not very good because I actually want to talk about a video on the market and all that too and kind of talk about that. But that's going to be in its own video. I do want to talk about the Switch 2 in this one. So I'm going to talk about the drama between the Switch 2 and all that, and talk about my thoughts on this. I also want you guys, if you guys can, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. If you guys don't like me talking about pop culture news related stuff, then you guys can check out my reviews or my Let's Plays too. Personally, those are, in my opinion, also more fun to do and make videos of. I'm not gonna lie. This stuff is just more so to throw my opinion out there and all that. You guys know that, but so I don't want people, getting mad at me because of this or that. Because I've had that happen with like Joann Fabrics and all that too, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna deal with that stuff. I'm just not, But like, I mean, if people want to complain about it, that's fine, but I'm throwing my opinion out here, so, yeah. But also, you guys can follow me on, Instagram and Twitter. Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now. I think it's still called Twitter. I'm just going to keep calling it Twitter because, that's what I keep seeing it called, but it has, like, the X symbol on it, so I don't know. But that said, though, let's go ahead and actually get into this. Let's talk about this. So the Switch 2 has not been received very well so far, and hell, the damn system hasn't even come out yet, and the shit is escalating really bad. I will say, though, the Switch 2, you probably would be like, well, you shouldn't judge the console until it comes out. It's not really the console that people are pissed off about, it's the fucking prices. The prices are what people are not happy about. The prices, they are like insane. I will say the Direct wasn't too bad. There wasn't really a lot of like games and all that to it. By the way, the Direct, I still have not actually uploaded my reaction to it. Like I said, I'm not uploading it on YouTube anymore because those Directs, I upload them on YouTube and most of the time they're getting taken down. So I'm just going to upload them somewhere else. I can't do much about it, so I might upload them on Twitter or Instagram. I haven't decided yet. I've been just very busy and all that. I've actually been doing my birthday thing. Yeah, I've got my birthday that came up, and all that. So it's, it happened and all that, so yay for me. But that said, though, I was actually kind of looking forward to the Switch 2. I will say I was not as super duper hyped for it, though, because, personally, the Switch 1, it's a good console. It has a lot of games to it and a big library of games. It does. It's kind of up there with the Wii and GameCube era with games. Like, it has a very good chunk of games. I will say, I think from what I've seen and played, I would say probably the Wii and the GameCube era probably still have better library of games and better games to play. That said, though, it's still got a pretty good library of games. That said, though, the console is what kind of sucked. There was not really a whole lot of features with it, where the Wii U and 3DS and DSi, hell, even the Wii had its channel menu thing and all that, which is really cool. It had a a weather thing. It had music and all that. It was really cool. Hell, when you would click on or when you would put a game in and go to select it, or games you've downloaded, it would play unique jingles, or have the character say something, like Mario games and all that. It was really cool, but I really liked it. I really liked that part of the Wii. And then the DSi had a good soundtrack too. It actually had a good camera. A lot of people say the camera is not the best, or it's more so people are saying it's not really necessary because you got a phone and all of that. But I have a phone and I still go back to my DSi all the time with the camera and all that and mess around with it. It's still fun. And then you got Flipnote Studios and all on there too. You got some games and all that too. The 3DS had, Street Pass, Face Riders and all that, and also a camera, which I think was kind of a downgrade to the DSi camera. They did add an actual video camera you could video stuff to, which is pretty cool, but the camera did not look as good on it as the DSi, and the features there wasn't as many features. But you could still do some stuff with it, so that was pretty cool. That said, though, we had the Wii U too that had Nintendo browser, and you could have the little Mii characters play on it and all that too. And each category had a different color of that, of the Mii characters in the background. That was really cool. The Switch just felt so damn empty. There was no browser. There was no browser. There was no music, no theme. It's so boring. Hell, a lot of people are coming out and freaking even saying it's boring, which I'm surprised. For a long time there, people were praising the hell out of the Switch, and I never once seen anybody look back on it and just pointing out this stuff. I've seen a few, but now it's everybody's coming out and actually pointing out some of the flaws it has too, which I'm fine with, because it does have a good library of games, but it has a lot of flaws with it too. That said, though, I will say the Mii Maker and that one, it is still kind of interesting. You can still you can actually customize your Miis very well in that one, which is pretty nice too. You can actually change their colors more than specific colors. You can change their eye colors and their hair color to any color you pretty much want. Where the older ones, you could only change them to specific colors. I can't remember if you could do that on the Wii U or not. I think the Wii U, I remember you could only do specific colors too. So that's pretty interesting. But for the most part, yeah, the Switch one did not have the best stuff there. And then we have it had a camera, but again the camera really sucked on it. I still have to kind of play around with the camera more, but I haven't really seen a lot of features with it. And you can take 30-second videos. But that's the thing, you can take 30-second videos, but even then it's just it's not really worth it. I need to review the console, but I need to play more games first on the console. And play more games on it, and then I also need to try to check out some more stuff on it. But so far what I've seen, it looks very boring, and I've had this Switch for a long time. Definitely felt like a downgrade. The Switch 2, though, on the other hand, was something I was kind of worried about, too. They were going to play it more safe. They were going to play it more safe as well. And so far, we still don't know what kind of features it's going to have on the actual console. We do know it's going to have, chat and a mouse little controller thing, which is pretty cool. Which I like, and all that, little mouse controller. And people are saying it's actually, pretty good. I thought it was kind of weird, but I was thinking they probably were going to find a way to make it work, like motion controls and all that for the Wii and all that, which is pretty cool. Because Nintendo has been known to experiment like that in the past. They've been doing that a lot. They would experiment and all that. Unfortunately, they've kind of been lacking more recently and all that. And although adding a mouse feature is pretty cool, and then the Switch 2, technically, I don't know, is there any other console you can play on the TV and then like play it on your on handheld mode too? I think you can play like some like maybe PlayStation on the phone, maybe Xbox. Well, you can play it on the computer, but like honestly, playing it on your computer or PC is not the same thing and all that as playing it on a console, you know, on a handheld. I'm not entirely sure. Because the Wii U was like that too, but the Wii U, you couldn't actually take it anywhere. The Wii U, you couldn't take the console anywhere, which kind of sucked. Like, I really would like to be able to take the Wii U anywhere. So far, and I've been able to do that. People have actually been finding out some cool secrets about it. Like, apparently you can actually play Wii games on your tablet if you have a sensor bar and all that. And apparently, I don't remember how they had it set up, but you can actually do that, which is really cool. So who knows? Maybe there is a way to actually do that. I don't know. That's kind of why I bought another Wii U, because I was like, you know, maybe I can try to experiment on the one that has nothing really on it. In case I screw something up, you know, I don't know, like, it'd be kind of interesting. But that said, though, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know, for the most part, though, yeah, they've been kind of experimenting here and there, but yeah, it's just been kind of lacking lately. And then, like, I think the Direct was not too bad. I mean, there wasn't a lot of games and all that for it, but they had some games, like, they had a new Donkey Kong game, which is really cool and all that. Some people have their opinions on Donkey Kong's new design. I would have to compare his design to his older one. It does look a little weird, though, I will say, because his eyes are, like, really small, and he has, like, this huge black open around, like, his eyelids and all. It kind of looks a little weird, but I don't know, I don't know what to say there. That said, though, I will say, the game looks somewhat at least interesting, but my biggest problem with the Switch 2 and a lot of people is the pricing. The pricing is kind of, and I know people are probably tired of hearing this, but it's freaking true. It's like very expensive and all, like it's very expensive. Like the games are like gonna be $80 now, $80 for fucking games. The Joy-Cons are gonna be like $90 to replace them and all that. I want to clarify, the fucking Joy-Cons, I believe now, are like $80. I think they're $60 or $80. They're just a lot of money. I want to clarify, you know how hard it was for me to get an actual PS5 controller in today's economy? This stuff's getting expensive. I guess to be fair with the controller, you can just replace it and all that, and it's not too big of a deal. But the games are what really is the problem. The games are fucking expensive as hell. They're expensive as hell, and then they're gonna make you like, they're gonna force you to buy a whole nother SD card for it. That's kind of the shit that started making me kind of lose interest in getting the damn Switch and all that, like the Switch 2. I'm like, why? Why the hell do I have to fucking change a goddamn SD card to do that, you know? Or why the hell can't it come with a fucking SD card? It sounds like it's not even gonna come with an SD card. I could be wrong, it could come with another SD card. I don't know, like the 3DSs did, the newer ones. But I'm just like, I don't think there's actually an SD card in my original Switch. I don't think I have an SD card in there. So I have to like go out of my way to fucking go buy one and all that, which I'm probably still going to do that because I don't really have any plans of probably buying this new console yet. I even plan on probably going to buy a Switch Lite. You may be wondering, well, why not just get a Switch 2 at that point? The reason why I'm actually wanting to get a Switch Lite is because I'm having issues with the Joy-Cons, and I want to kind of see maybe if the Switch Lite, the Joy-Cons won't be as bad, because I'm kind of afraid we might have a similar problem with the Switch 2. So I figured I might as well go ahead and get that. And plus, it's not like it's still not a lot of money. Like I could buy an SD card, an SD card for that, and I can buy a Switch Lite, and it still would be like half of what it's costing here. Now that said, though, the console being $450, that's not like too bad there. I mean. But it's the games and like you having to spend for more money on SD cards and on the Amiibos. I haven't talked about the Amiibos yet. I'll do that in a second. That's the problem. That's the shit that pisses me off, and a lot of other people is like they're basically ripping you off here. They're ripping you off and all that, and I'm just like. It's just not really worth it. Plus, I already have the original Switch, I'm like... And I want to clarify that I can't even get games on it yet. Like, I haven't got all the games I want yet because they're $60 a piece. Well, some of them are $70. So trying to, get the games and all, it's kind of hard. So I actually haven't even got all the games I want yet for it. And that's because they're expensive. They're very expensive. But yeah, they're actually very, very expensive. But that said, though, the Switch 2, though, let's go talk about the Amiibos, too. The Amiibos are kind of where another big problem with this console is going to come in. So the good news is we'll have Amiibos again. If you guys want to know what the Amiibos are, I'll talk about them in a second, because they're actually pretty interesting. But the Amiibos are going to be in the Switch 2, so they haven't completely forgot about them. Because I don't feel like they've talked about them a lot with the original Switch. And they had some games that would use the Amiibos, but they weren't really advertising them a lot, so it felt like they were getting buried under the bus. So they still have the new Amiibos. That said, though, I hear they're going to be like $40 and all. Like, that's fucking expensive as hell. That really is expensive, and when you have like a shit ton of Amiibos and all of that, that's just fucking expensive. Or $40 per Amiibo and all, that's fucking expensive. Now that one, I'm not sure if it's actually true. I'm just kind of going off what people said. That the pricing for the games is definitely true. It's definitely going to be that expensive. And all that, and why would you want to spend that much money on them? The thing is, though, with the Amiibos, though, here's what I wanted to kind of talk about with the Amiibos. So a lot of people don't even know what the Amiibos really do. And that's because Nintendo hasn't really been advertising them, what they actually do. So the Amiibos are actually very unique things. I like the Amiibos. That's something the Wii U introduced that I actually really like. So the Amiibos, what you would do is you would scan your your console. You would go scan it, and you can get like extra stuff and all that on there. So like for example, Mario Maker on the Wii U, you could scan it and all that, and you would get like. I can't remember what you would get for it, but you get like, I think it was like, there was mystery mushrooms or something, which I think I heard they're not even on the Mario Maker 2, but you would get stuff like that, or you would get like Mario Odyssey. I think I heard you could scan like, I think you can get like Mario in a dress or something, and I think I've seen that. That's pretty funny. Seeing Mario in a wedding dress, that's pretty funny. But things like that, like you get little extra stuff. Of course, you have to buy the Amiibos and all that, but that's really cool. Even the 3DS did some of that with their later games. They obviously didn't do it at first because, well, because they didn't start doing the Amiibo thing until the Wii U. But they actually added some adapter stuff for the original, which I need to actually go and purchase. I need to buy them. I don't actually own them. I need to go buy me one of those. They're probably more expensive now because they probably don't, because they probably don't make them anymore because they discontinued the 3DS, which would make sense. But you can like scan your Amiibo on those older stuff. It's pretty cool. The 3DS actually had a lot of that stuff. They even had a little thing where you could add another joystick and all that, like you could put it in something. It's pretty cool. I really do like that. But like Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, like you could scan these amiibos too, and which I'm actually trying to get me some because there's some stuff I can't do on there, or like that I want to have access to, or you can like scan it. It's really cool. Like Luigi's Mansion has this thing also where you can like be at the hunting boos down. If you scan a Boo amiibo, you can like hunt down the boos and all that. Which, by the way, the Boo amiibo actually has a cool feature where it glows in the dark too. So a lot of these amiibos are not only good for like collecting, if you like collecting your favorite characters, but they can actually be very useful for a lot of these games. But a lot of people don't know that because that they can be used for a lot of these games. They think they're just like, they probably just think they're just display items because they don't really know that you can use them for games, because the freaking Nintendo does not fucking advertise this shit very well. They don't really do that very well. Like they were kind of slacking there with the Wii U and all. I mean, they got a little bit better with the Switch, but they still don't really advertise the amiibo effects very well and all that. Like, so a lot of people don't even know what the amiibos are. But trust me, they are very good. I would recommend picking some up if I were you guys. Especially if they're going to be going for like $40 for the newer ones. That means we're probably going to be like, they're going to be exclusively for the Switch 2 and all that. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe the older amiibos can still be used for the Switch 1 and all that. So yeah, I would recommend going out and picking some of these up while you can, because they're going to get more and more expensive. And these ones are probably going to fade out from existence. Now, I know they're getting harder to find, but I've seen some of these at stores. I've seen them at GameStops and all that, so. Because they are actually very unique, and they can make gameplay fun a lot of times. That said, though, but that's the problem too with a lot of the Switch too. It's just too fucking expensive. They got very greedy with it. Now the thing is though, I think the Switch 2 is going to actually sell very well at first, and then I think the console is gonna fucking drop off after that. I think it's gonna drop off unless they actually change it, because I feel like it's going to because they're going to get people out there that actually want to buy the Switch or have already pre-ordered it, probably hoping for something very big, and then when they actually see what it is, then they're probably going to it's probably going to drop off. I think the Switch 2 is going to drop off. It's probably going to be another GameCube and Wii U situation where it might not do very well. I mean, I want it to do well, I do, but the problem is, though, the pricing is what's really hurting this console here. A lot of people have already canceled their pre-orders and all that, and of course you got the people out there too that are fucking defending Nintendo and all that and being like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, even the games, they're not. I've had people out there saying the games we're already paying DLC and all that, which, I mean, to be fair, in that case, I don't think they're not the actual defenders. They are proving a good point. Nintendo is making DLC for a lot of these games, which is going up to that price. But they're not you're not paying for it all at once. You're paying for DLC separate. So you're not paying for it all at once. This shit's gonna be costing $80 at once. Not to mention, if they fucking add DLC down the road, that's gonna be even more money they're gonna have to spend. So it literally, I feel like in that case though, it's not really it doesn't really matter on that one. I feel like people kind of saying that, I don't really agree with that. But there are people out there, like I said, that actually literally will defend Nintendo or call people out. People are saying, I've seen people out in the comments, not many of them, but a lot of people in the comments have said that Nintendo is, or people are going to bitch about the prices and then they're going to go out and buy it anyway. To me, it feels like it's more like you're just saying that because you're pissed off at people from getting mad at Nintendo. That's what it feels like they're going to probably. That feels like what they're doing there. Now some people do prove a point. Some people will go out of their way to do that, but not always. But it's kind of like the Disney World situation where people bitch about the prices but still go to the parks, but they also are declining too, you know, because like Nintendo, like Disney and Nintendo are both massive corporations that have been around for a long time, and both of them have kind of gotten very greedy with prices. And I know once again I'm bringing up Disney, but that's basically what Nintendo kind of has become. They're starting to become kind of the shell of their former selves. They're kind of getting very greedy with their prices. They kind of are taking away a lot of the fun things people liked. Like remember when Nintendo used to have remember they used to have what was it? Miiverse. They used to have Miiverse. They used to have like I said, they had their Nintendo browser and all that too, which is really cool. Which I think was actually just called a browser, but it was really cool and all that. They kind of taking a lot of that shit away and all that made people like it. Hell, even the Mii characters, like I think I've been hearing people saying the Mii characters are like disappearing too, like the Mii characters are going away too. Like they're not advertising them a lot anymore. They're kind of just like fading out in existence. I did say that the Switch 2 or Switch 1 you can still like customize your Mii characters and change them into different looks, which I really like. Well, I like it for the most part. I forgot to mention this, because I wasn't thinking about this. That actually they won't let you do certain characters. Apparently they're copyright claimed. Which is, I'm like, how the hell can you fucking copyright claim a fucking Mii character that like just looks like an actual character? Like, that's just fucking stupid. Like, I don't know why the hell they even have a damn copyright claim on that, but they do. To be fair, the copyright claim shit has gotten way out of hand on media in general, but like, for a fucking Mii character especially, like, why do I need to get copyright? Why can't I make a fucking Mii character how I want? Like, it's not like I'm fucking selling the damn fucking Mii characters. I'm just customizing my own fucking Mii character. It's just so stupid. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it literally does that. Like, I had that problem before. I don't remember what it was. I think it was one of the Scooby-Doo characters. Yeah, I think that's what it was. They fucking, like, did that. It's just so stupid. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm not kidding. Like, it may sound like I'm making something up, but no, I was trying to do that, and then, like, I had that happen. I think it was Shaggy. I think it's who it was. It was Shaggy. I had that problem. I can't remember. I don't know. But that said, though, but like I said, I think there's going to be, the Switch 2 is going to sell very well at first, and I think it's definitely going to drop. I think the Switch 2 is going to collapse. I think it's going to start collapsing. Unless they, like, decide to lower the prices, which they need to do. Otherwise, it's going to keep collapsing on itself. It's going to be the next Wii U or GameCube era. I think it will probably sell better than the Wii U. The Wii U just failed in general, because the people didn't even know what the hell the Wii U was. That said, though, I will tell you guys, the Wii U is a fantastic console, and I'm glad I'm seeing more people come out and realizing that. I figured they would. I figured to give it time, but I didn't think it was going to happen this fast. But people are starting to realize the Wii U, although it doesn't have the best library of games, because it really didn't. Like, a lot of the Mario games at that time were not that good and all that. Because the people behind Mario are kind of lacking a bit. It did have some good Mario games on the platform. Like Mario Maker, like I said, was a very good game. So was Mario 3D World. A lot of the games just were not, like, that good, you know? So, But that said, though, a lot of people are looking back at the Wii U, and the games that are stuck on the Wii U are very good. And some of the stuff like that are not the games, like I mentioned, the part where we get to hear the music. So Wii U has a very good soundtrack. The Nintendo browser is very good. It's a very good you get to not only look up things you want to look up, like pictures and all that, of like artwork, or like if you want to look up like stuff like questions about something, you can look that up. You can see the Mii character like performing on stage, which is really cool. I really like that. That's really cool. That's something really cool that they did. And then like I talked about the whole like the Mii characters with like each color would have their own like little platform square thing. It's really cool. That said, though, it does have a little bit of problems, like at times where it can't load very well and all that. But I don't know. I have to go back and play. Like I was saying in the past, I think it was my favorite Nintendo console. I have to go back and play a lot of the games and kind of go from there. Because it is backwards compatible with a lot of with the Wii games and all that, but it does kind of lack a lot of the newer games that came out at that time, you know. So, and some of them are ported to the Switch. Some of them I hear are not as good as the Wii U version, and some are actually better than the Wii U version. I'd have to go back and see. But I actually did do a top. I think it was a top 10 or something on the Wii U, or I don't remember what it was. That I don't think it was a top 10. No, it was something else. I can put it in the description below, but it was something different. I just can't remember what it was. But that said, though, I don't know if there's anything else I really want to say here. But this is a video I've been wanting to talk about. But like I said, my phone's been acting up and all that, and like, well, YouTube's been acting up. I don't think it's my phone. I think it's YouTube, because my other one's been doing the same thing. So I don't really know what to do there. But that said, we'll just have to see kind of what happens and all that. But like I say, I think it's going to sell. It's going to sell very well at first, and then it's going to drop, because the Wii U was the same way. It sold very well the first year, and then it started declining afterwards. So we'll have to see. That said, though, I'm going to go ahead and let things go from here. I'll see you guys all later. Bye-bye.